Hi, welcome to the Spirit Lounge. Again, I hope you're well. This video is the last couple that I've made. The reminder on karma, and this one is observational. It's inspired to things I've observed, and this one's critically important to me. And this video may not resonate with some of you because some of us out there may not be in resonance with this video because the state of where we are in our journeys and so forth may not have moved us to this place. But I want to make this video on something that I think personally I'm going to say, and it can be taken for what it is, and if it puts some people off, then so be it. But I want to talk about something I've observed that's is interesting to me. I watch a lot of esoteric, metaphysical, alternative stuff. Of course I would, doing videos like this. Much in the spiritual area, esoteric science, philosophy, people's journeys, near-death experiences. Read books on these areas. Theology as well, whatever attracts and comes into my space, that is purposeful, intended for this journey, and I don't choose those things; they just come in. But many of those videos are from what I would call New Age practitioners, alternative spaces, people talking about the Ascension process, spiritual journey to self. People have been practicing this for decades, spirituals, mediums, so forth, and a lot of the spiritual, esoteric, metaphysical videos and channels out there. I watch them all, as well as many as that come across my space, as I mentioned. I find interesting, I'll watch. When we all have time, can't sit there watching YouTube videos all day. So, but one thing I've noticed, which is a constant thread through every video that I've seen of late, almost every video, is the absence of one thing. I'm going to leave it for a second or two so you to maybe think about what that one thing might be, and I'm obviously going to just tell you anyway. What do you think that one thing is? It's the absence of the description of divine grace. You can call it God. You can call it the unity of the one, the all that is, the isness. What I'm finding in many of these process of ascension, there is no process in my view, is that the practitioners out there refuse to say it. There seems to be this reluctance to bring into the conversation or this process the oneness and unity, the existence of grace itself, of source, of God, of the oneness, the emanation of everything that we talk about, of the self and the I and the spirit. It's not mentioned very much, if at all. It's skirted around on many videos, and I'm interested to understand why that is. Why is that? Why is this omitted? In my thoughts, it's because either people don't want to say the word God or source or divine or the oneness too much because it puts people off and think it's religious. People don't want to mention the word God, and some others are just fearful of saying it, and others have admitted it completely from their mental processes. And this is, I find, a little bit sad. And I also find it counterintuitive. Because whatever path and process we take, to this journey of spiritual expansion, we are all going to end up understanding that God exists, that divine source, the unity of everything, the all that is, the isness, whatever you want to call it, the eminence of state or the singularity exists. So why do we avoid saying it? What's the problem with saying it? Because for me, it's all that is. It's all that we are. This journey that we go on, this ascension process, this movement to self, or whatever it is that it's described as out there, and the abstractions and the complexity that we add around it, or practitioners decide to add around it, and making their own multiple laws and rules around it. We start in the same place, we have a journey in the middle, and we end up in the same place. The end is the beginning, and the beginning is the end. And that is the emanation from which all that we experience and all that we are yet to experience and we may never experience, and all that is within grace, is within the Divine One, is within God. Whatever you want to call it, it exists and it is. And I have no such reservation in saying these things, because that is the emanation that sits within my heart and my spirit. That is what resides within me, within you, within everything. We can talk and skirt around ascension processes and whatever we want, but until we're open to this, we'll only go so far. You don't have to accept it, you just have to be open. Be open to the divine grace. Source, I call it. I use source. Why do I use source? Not because of fear of using God, no. I don't use God because humanity have destroyed that word. Humanity have put so many abstractions and divisions around that word, the word of God. They've created wars and separation and division. My God's better than your God. I don't use that word because humanity have destroyed its meaning and have destroyed the energy of that word. I use source because it is our source. We emanate from source itself, the divine grace of everything that we experience, everything that we are. So this video is directed to anyone who wants to listen to it, no matter where you are on the path of your own personal individual journey. Don't stay in the bubble of the New Age. We must, in my view, be open. Be open within your heart right here. Be open and allow what you feel, or maybe not feel right now, to enter. Just be open to Source and the infinite. Allow, and then watch to wait to feel what happens. Because what you seek is in that allowing of the infinite one and grace. Concentrating on the I and the inner space all the time and abstracting it away from the fact that we are just the one, and the one is us, will move us into a bubble, which is what I believe the New Age is moving into. And we need to not be afraid to say it, not be afraid to understand that its existence is there. Otherwise we're just skirting around where we wish to go. We're afraid to step on that stone. Remember, the isness is it really is nothing. The abstractions we describe as source itself, where we emanate from, where we go, where we come from, is actually nothingness. It's nothingness. It's an emptiness, it's a space. It's a space of pure presence. It's divine presence. It's graceful love, joy, awareness. We're in everything, but in nothing. There is nothingness there in reality. It's just pure presence, pure being. A speck of presence, infinite being. We're all over we're everywhere and in everything, but there's just presence there. It's formlessness. It doesn't have hills and cities. It doesn't have planets and worlds. It doesn't have people floating around. Not truly. It's actually just presence. And that's where we come from. That's where we emanate from, presence. It's presence. Source itself, divine light. God is just presence. It's an emptiness of everything, because everything is in the emptiness. It's a vastness of pure possibility. What we experience and observe, even from that space that we see in these afterworlds and near-death experiences in this universe, is a manifestation of the divine laws of cause and effect, transformation, creation, and destruction, energy, thought. And we transmute and we create these experiences in these worlds and this universe as it expands out through our own collective action, words, thoughts, and cause and effect. It's what we experience, but we don't live in it. Because it's in the oneness. It's all one, but we have to put it in separation, because our minds need to understand. We understand through separation, through compartmentalization of things. That's how we understand what things are, because our minds need to process it. But ultimately, that truth becomes knowing from here. It's felt knowledge. It's not mind knowledge, it's felt knowledge. It's felt awareness and truth. So the journey of ascension, there is no ascension process. It doesn't exist for me. It's just a uniqueness that each and every one of us will follow separate paths. There's no process to follow, because it's different for everyone. It's just a path. It's a sojourn. This is a sojourn here, and you're on a path to that emptiness and nothingness. The somethingness that we experience and we feel that exists as real comes from the nothingness of presence, in actual fact. That's the reality. We're all possibility in the realm of nothingness and emptiness. It's just pure presence and elation, because we are divine grace and divine light, an emanation of God and Source itself. And we create through transmuting of energy, where this universe and theatre was created in the first place, just to expand out through its normal, through universal law, expansion, expansion, and expansion will never end, unceasing theatre of experience, possibility, the quantum and akasha that exists within it and without it. In and out, everywhere. Everything's everywhere. But we, as spirit, as beings of light, of not even light, it's just presence, really come from an emptiness where actually there is no form. There's no formlessness. It's just everything, but in nothing. These things will become more understood as we move into our feeling selves. Our feeling selves and with our open heart to Source itself is where this connection will truly come from. And I'll answer a question from a friend of mine in another video. But that's where knowledge comes from. That's where connection truly is. It's not in any ascension process. It's not in looking at deities or anything like that. We shouldn't append Source itself to any deity or any God, because it isn't one. These abstractions of it Take all identity away. Take all attachment away from what you think, what we feel is out there. Because it is just isness. It is just all that is. There's nothing to grab hold of. Because it's all here. It's all within the feeling self. The feeling self is the heart and the I, the true I. So, my advice is open up to Source itself and accept, even with some faith, if it's blind faith. Because that's where the connection is going to come from now. Those who watch this video and other ones, you're looking for. Otherwise, why would you be watching this video? And any others that I may have published, or other people, others in the metaphysical, spiritual, and esoteric realm. Idle curiosity usually drops away after 1 or 2 videos. And then it comes into purpose and intention. So, open oneself up to that. And if there's anxiety or some intrepidation and fear of actually even saying, it's not religious or theology by accepting the oneness from oneness, that's within, that's without. Because it's just is. We'll come to it eventually. It's where we're always going to go, whether we realize it in body or otherwise. And our purpose is to find it here, in this duality. Because that's where true spiritual strength in form is found. The challenge of this. Okay, I'm going to keep this video short because I tried to keep them under 20 minutes. So I hope that helps. It's just an observation of late. Don't be fearful of accepting what is. Call it whatever you like. But don't be fearful of saying it. It'll open itself up to you when we accept that it exists, that it's there, and that we wish it to guide us in our purpose, our intention. And along this, during the coming closer or midway through this journey, we will all pray. I'm telling you, because as the feeling self grows, praying isn't being lesser than. It's a moment in our day where we connect deeper and give gratitude and thanks for the support from the unseen that we receive every second, minute, hour of every day. It's not there just to ask for things. It's there to embrace true home. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped, and again, like and subscribe and alert videos, click on the alert box to be alert for future videos, and have a great day everyone. I love you all. Thank you. Bye bye.